Welcome to the Lynn Lineup, a show highlighting upcoming events happening in the Lynn community. Today we're here to talk about the 7th annual Celebrate Literacy Day happening on Wednesday, August 21st at 5:30 at the All Care VNA rooftop deck. And I am joined today by Saritin Rizzuto, founder of the Celebrate Literacy Day Committee, and Mikki Wilson, who is one of the committee members. Thanks for joining me today, guys.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
So, what exactly is the Celebrate Literacy Day Committee? What is it that you guys do, and why did it get started?
So the event started probably about 8 years ago with an organization called Operation Bootstrap, which is now Pathways. They needed a group to raise matching funds for money that they had received, a grant that they had received, and they spoke to me about it, and my coworker and I agreed that we would organize a fundraiser for them to try to raise matching funds, and we focused on literacy and education, and it all just came together, to be honest with you. It was very easy. We raised the funds that they needed, and we did it again the following year to benefit them, and then realized that there was more of a need for unrestricted funds for not-for-profit organizations in the area, and we decided to share the wealth and open it to other not-for-profit organizations in Lynn that focused on literacy and education, creating opportunities in the area of literacy and higher education, and basically went from there.
And so this is the 7th annual. Before we talk about this event, just out of curiosity, what are some of the past organizations that you guys have worked with?
So after Pathways, we opened it up for other not-for-profit, promoted that we were organizing the event and that the proceeds would go to a local not-for-profit, and the not-for-profit would just have to meet the criteria and submit an application, come before the committee so that we can see if their mission aligned with ours, and then we would decide which organization we would receive the funds. The past organizations that have benefited from the event have been the Haven Project. They identified a specific need to create a GED program. It's now called the HiSET, I believe, and we decided that we would raise funds, the funds that they needed to be able to create that program for them, because they had a huge waiting list. And we did, and they created their program. Another organization that benefited from Celebrate Literacy Day was Building Bridges Through Music. Building Bridges Through Music had experienced some sort of a theft, I believe, and
a few years back.
lost a lot of their instruments, a lot of the things they needed to do the work that they do. And they approached us and expressed their need, and we were able to raise funds for them to be able to continue to do the work they do. We also recognized and raised funds for the No Ceilings movement. Anthony Seaforth is an individual that's from Lynn that does great work with the youth here in Lynn, and we were able to raise funds so that he can expand his program and hire other youth to be able to do the work that he does. And then last year, the proceeds went to La Vida Scholars, another great Lynn organization that's been in Lynn for a long time, and the funds that we raised enabled them to expand their program and increase the number of students that they get into college.
Yeah, so you guys have a good track record of picking fantastic organizations, and you guys are keeping up with the trend, and this year the organization that you guys are going to be honoring and helping to get proceeds for is Skills USA at Tech, who have been on an absolute roll this year. They have been doing so much stuff. For those that don't know, I mean, they've won national awards, they've put out a children's book, they do a lot of stuff in the community. So I think I might have just answered my own question, but like, why did you guys go with Skills USA this year? And there are also a couple of other award recipients this year, so if you just want to talk about those.
Yeah, so basically, we had a submission of about 5 or 6 not-for-profit organizations. We went through the interview process with our selection committee, and we realized that this youth program I didn't even know existed here out of Lynn Tech was doing such great work out in the community with our youth. And Jason came to the interview with his students, and the students were, I mean, it was a no-brainer. We just were so beyond impressed. The decision was difficult, but it was the weirdest thing because we went into this whole process just really thinking of, you know, all these great organizations, it's going to be so hard, but they were the last ones we interviewed, and we were beyond impressed with the work they do. They're such a great organization.
Absolutely. I'm a Lynn Tech graduate.
Me too.
And I was in machine drafting, so this program used to be called VICA when I was in high school, Vocational Institute something. But so it's rebranded, and just to see, we would go to these conferences back then and, you know, compete in certain categories, but to see that program at Tech rebranded and these kids going into the communities and really wearing that brand, from the red coats to the service projects, and they collaborate with different people and organizations. Just as an alumni, it made me so proud to see something, a program that didn't die off. That's something that just, you know, built itself back up and is really giving back into the community. So when I was asked to be on the committee and when I saw the nominations come in, but especially when the kids came in and said, you know, what they did, you knew, right, that like, this is what you want your kids to be doing, this is what you want the whole community to be a part of. And there were people in the committee crying, and it was like, after that, it was like, they're so great, but like, it was just clear, it was very clear. They came in with a solid presentation.
And it was just so organic. It wasn't staged. It wasn't like, you know, sometimes the organizations that submit an application, we consider them and speak to them, and they just want these access to unrestricted funds. The need is great out in our community. So, you know, it's just, sometimes it isn't very, they're just thinking about doing the best they can so that they can get the funding. And with Skills USA at Lynn Tech, it was so organic. The students, Jason, the entire team, the way that they express the work that they do in the community and what they hope to expand to and evolve to if they were selected, it was just really impressive.
Yeah, the team is fantastic that they have at Skills USA over at Tech. They're very humble. They don't look for the press. The press kind of goes to them and says, hey guys, really, let's get you in here.
Absolutely.
So we only have like maybe about 2 minutes left. So just in that time, I'd like to be able to highlight, you do have Skills USA coming, but you also have a keynote speaker and 2 other award recipients. So again, we only have about 2 minutes, but if we could just shine a light on them as well.
Sure. Our keynote speaker is Dr. Patrick Tutwiler. He's the superintendent of Lynn Schools. We're very excited to have him. I have spent some time with him on another board that we both serve on, and I'm just really excited about the job that he's doing in the school, the support he's giving the educators and the administrators and everybody, and likewise back to him. So we're very excited to have him kick off this year's event.
The other 2 award recipients are Megalie, that's Megalie Torres-Rowe. She's a very well-known name here in the community. She's been doing great work in leadership around providing tools for women to succeed in the workforce. And the other recipient is Shelia O'Neil, who is also a person that is so deserving of this honor. She's also been extremely involved in advocating for our children and working in this community for quite a long time. She is also the president of the Lynn Teachers Union. So I feel like we have a winning team. And I mean, the community has truly embraced this effort.
In addition to the awards and everything, it's also kind of like a networking sort of party. So for anybody that wants to go to the event, just very quickly, because we got to wrap up now, how do people get tickets? Are they at the door? Do they need to do it in advance?
I would say the easiest way is you can go online, visit www.celebrateliteracyday.org. You can buy tickets directly from the website. You can also visit our Facebook page, Celebrate Literacy Day, and buy tickets through there as well. We are selling tickets individually, so don't be afraid to grab us in the community, but those are the 3 best ways to get them. And it's going to be a very fun night. Networking, mingling, free food and drinks, raffle prizes, and just celebrating, our future and our community leaders. So it'll be a good night.
Awesome. Thanks again for joining me today, guys. Again, 7th Annual Celebrate Literacy Day, happening Wednesday, August 21st at 5:30 at All Care VNA on Market Street in Lynn. That's it for this edition of the Lynn Lineup. Thanks for watching.